The arena exploded into absolute chaos as the unmistakable sound of Roman Reigns' entrance music tore through the speakers on Monday Night Raw. Nobody saw this coming. The crowd lost their minds as the tribal chief made his way down the ramp with that signature swagger, his eyes locked on one target and one target only. CM Punk stood in the ring holding the World Heavyweight Championship high above his head, but his expression shifted the moment he realized who was interrupting his celebration. This wasn't just another Monday night. This was about to become the beginning of something massive. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button right now because you won't want to miss a single moment of what's coming next. The tension in that building could have been cut with a knife as Roman Reigns stepped through the ropes and stood face to face with CM Punk. These two superstars have been on a collision course for years, and now it seemed like destiny was finally bringing them together for the ultimate showdown. Reigns grabbed a microphone and the crowd fell silent, hanging on every word that was about to come out of his mouth. He spoke with that trademark confidence, reminding everyone exactly who he is and what he's accomplished. The head of the table. The one who has dominated WWE for over 3 years. The man who carried this company on his back while others came and went. And now he was back with one simple message for CM Punk. Roman Reigns didn't waste time with pleasantries or beating around the bush. He looked Punk dead in the eyes and told him that the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist didn't mean anything until he proved he could beat the best. And according to Reigns, he is the best, the biggest, and the most dominant force in professional wrestling history. The crowd was split right down the middle with half of them chanting for Roman and the other half firmly behind Punk. But Reigns didn't care about the noise. He cared about one thing only. That championship. He told Punk that he could call himself the best in the world all he wanted, but until he steps into the ring with the tribal chief and survives, those are just empty words. CM Punk stood there listening, his jaw clenched tight as Roman delivered line after line. You could see the fire building in Punk's eyes with every word. This is a man who has never backed down from anyone in his entire career. He's fought giants, legends, and every kind of opponent imaginable. So when Reigns finished talking, Punk snatched his own microphone and fired back with everything he had. He told Roman that he's been waiting for this moment. Waiting for the so-called tribal chief to finally show his face on Raw and try to step into his world. Punk reminded everyone that this is his show now. This is his championship. And if Roman Reigns wants a shot at it, he's going to have to earn it just like everybody else. The back and forth between these two was electric. Every word felt important. Every pause carried weight. Roman Reigns laughed at the idea that he needed to earn anything. He reminded Punk that he's main event WrestleMania multiple times, that he's held championships longer than most careers last, and that he's beaten everyone put in front of him. He told Punk that the only reason people even care about the World Heavyweight Championship right now is because everyone knows it's about to become his. The championship doesn't make Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns makes the championship. And once he takes it from Punk, the entire landscape of Monday Night Raw will belong to him. Punk wasn't having any of it. He shot back telling Roman that all he hears is a man living in the past, talking about what he did on another show with another championship. This is Raw. This is the World Heavyweight Championship. And this is CM Punk's house. He told Roman that if he really wants this title, he won't have to wait long. Punk accepted the challenge right there on the spot. The crowd erupted into absolute mayhem. This was happening. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. The match that fans have dreamed about for over a decade was finally becoming a reality. But just when you thought things couldn't get any more intense, the music hit again. Out came the Raw general manager with security in tow, trying to restore some kind of order to the situation. The GM grabbed a microphone and told both superstars that while the match sounds incredible, there's a process to these things. You can't just show up on Raw and demand a championship match. There are contenders waiting in line. There are people who have been working week in and week out to earn their opportunity. But before the GM could finish that thought, Roman Reigns cut him off and reminded him exactly who he's talking to. This isn't some rookie looking for a handout. This is Roman Reigns. The same Roman Reigns who has carried WWE on his back for years. The GM seemed caught between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, he knew that Roman Reigns versus CM Punk would be the biggest match possible for Raw. On the other hand, there were legitimate contenders who had earned their spots. So he made a decision right there in the ring. Roman Reigns would get his championship match against CM Punk, but not right away. First, Roman would have to prove he belongs on Raw by going through the #1 contender. If Roman could beat the man who was supposed to face Punk next, then he would earn his shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. The crowd loved this decision because it meant more huge matches leading up to the ultimate showdown. Roman Reigns didn't look happy about having to jump through hoops, but he accepted the terms. He told the GM that it doesn't matter who gets put in front of him. It doesn't matter if it's 1 match or 10 matches. The result will always be the same. Roman Reigns wins. And once he's done dismantling whoever thinks they deserve a shot at Punk, he's going to take that championship and remind the entire world why he's called the Tribal Chief. Punk stood across the ring with a slight smirk on his face, clearly enjoying watching Roman have to work for his opportunity. He told Roman that he hopes he makes it through because Punk can't wait to prove that all the hype, all the dominance, and all the legendary status means absolutely nothing when you step into the ring with the best in the world. The following week on Raw, the atmosphere was completely different. Everyone knew that Roman Reigns was going to be in action, and the entire wrestling world was watching. Social media was blowing up with predictions, debates, and dream scenarios. Fans were divided on who they wanted to see win. Some believed that Roman Reigns was the greatest of all time and that nobody, not even CM Punk, could stop him. Others argued that Punk is on a completely different level right now and that Roman's time at the top is over. The debate raged on everywhere you looked, and it all added to the incredible anticipation building for this rivalry. The number one contender was revealed, and it was none other than Seth Rollins. This added an entirely new layer to the story because of the history between Roman and Seth. These two have been brothers, enemies, and everything in between. They've main event WrestleMania against each other. They've been part of the legendary Shield together. And now Seth stood between Roman and his shot at CM Punk. Seth grabbed a microphone during his segment and made it crystal clear that he has zero interest in helping Roman Reigns do anything. In fact, Seth said he's been waiting for an opportunity to knock Roman down a few pegs, and this is his chance. He told Roman that if he thinks he's just going to walk through him to get to Punk, he's got another thing coming. The match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins was scheduled for the following week, and the hype was absolutely unreal. This wasn't just a number one contender match anymore. This was personal. This was about legacy. This was about proving who the true top guy really is. Roman came into the match with everything to prove. If he lost, his shot at CM Punk would be gone. If he won, he would finally get the opportunity he came to Raw for in the first place. Seth had his own motivations. Beating Roman Reigns would not only secure his championship match against Punk, but it would also prove that he's moved beyond the shadow of his former Shield brother. The night of the match arrived and the energy inside the arena was off the charts. Both superstars made their entrances to massive reactions from the crowd. Roman Reigns walked to the ring with that unshakable confidence, while Seth Rollins looked focused and determined like never before. The bell rang and these two warriors went at it with everything they had. The match was an absolute war from the opening bell. Counters, reversals, big moves, and near falls kept the crowd on the edge of their seats for nearly 30 minutes. Seth hit his signature moves and came close to victory multiple times, but Roman kept kicking out. Roman hit Superman punches and spears that would have finished anyone else, but Seth refused to stay down. As the match reached its peak, the unexpected happened. CM Punk's music hit and he walked out onto the stage with the World Heavyweight Championship over his shoulder. He wasn't scheduled to be there. He wasn't supposed to interfere. But there he stood, watching the match with intense interest. Both Roman and Seth noticed his presence, and it momentarily distracted them. Seth turned his attention toward Punk for just a split second, and that was all Roman needed. He caught Seth with a devastating spear out of nowhere and pinned him for the 3 count. Roman Reigns had won. He had earned his shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman stood up and immediately locked eyes with CM Punk on the stage. He pointed at the championship and then pointed at Punk, making his intentions crystal clear. Punk raised the title above his head and smiled, accepting the challenge without saying a single word. The date was set. In 2 weeks at the next premium live event, Roman Reigns would challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship in what was already being called the biggest match of the year. The wrestling world was buzzing with excitement, and everyone had an opinion on who would walk out as champion. The build to the match was incredible. Both superstars cut promos that had fans glued to their screens. Roman talked about his legacy, his dominance, and his destiny to hold every major championship in WWE. He spoke about how this wasn't just about winning another title. This was about cementing his place as the greatest of all time. He talked about how CM Punk may have the respect of the fans and the critics, but respect doesn't win championships. Power wins championships. Dominance wins championships. And Roman Reigns is the most powerful and dominant superstar in the history of this business. CM Punk fired back with promos that reminded everyone why he's considered one of the best talkers in wrestling history. He spoke about how Roman Reigns represents everything wrong with modern wrestling. He talked about how Roman has been handed opportunities while others had to scratch and claw for every inch. Punk said that Roman may have been the top guy on another brand, but this is Raw, and Raw belongs to him now. He told Roman that all the accolades, all the WrestleMania main events, and all the legendary status won't matter when they're standing across from each other in that ring, because when the bell rings, it's just 2 men fighting for the most important prize in the industry. The contract signing for the match took place 1 week before the event, and it was absolute chaos. Both superstars sat across from each other at a table in the middle of the ring, with the Raw GM officiating the proceedings. The contract was laid out, and both men were given the opportunity to speak before signing. Roman went first, telling Punk that he's about to make the biggest mistake of his life by accepting this challenge. He said that Punk has no idea what he's getting himself into. Roman promised that he would take the World Heavyweight Championship, and there was nothing Punk or anyone else could do to stop him. Punk responded by telling Roman that he's been hearing tough talk his entire career. Everyone he's ever faced has promised to destroy him, to end his career, to prove they're better. And every single one of them learned the hard way that CM Punk is exactly who he says he is. The best in the world. Punk signed the contract without hesitation and slid it across the table to Roman. Roman stared at the signature for a long moment before picking up the pen and signing his name. The match was official. The contract signing ended with both men standing face to face, neither willing to back down an inch. Security had to step in to separate them as the tension threatened to boil over into a brawl. The night of the premium live event finally arrived, and the anticipation was at an all-time high. Fans packed the arena, and millions more were watching around the world. This was the match everyone had been waiting for. The match that had been talked about, debated, and dreamed about for years. Roman Reigns vs. CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Both superstars made their entrances to incredible reactions. The atmosphere was electric, and you could feel that something special was about to happen. The bell rang and the match began. These two went back and forth in an absolute classic that will be remembered for years to come. Punk used his technical skill and striking ability to keep Roman off balance. Roman used his power and athleticism to dominate whenever he could. The near falls came fast and furious, with both men coming within inches of victory multiple times. Punk hit the go to sleep, but Roman kicked out at 2.5. Roman hit multiple spears, but Punk kept finding ways to survive. The crowd was losing their minds with every single moment. As the match entered its final stages, both men were exhausted but refused to quit. Punk went for another go to sleep, but Roman countered and set up for one final spear. He charged across the ring with everything he had left, but Punk moved at the last second and Roman crashed into the corner. Punk quickly capitalized, grabbing Roman and hitting another go to sleep. He made the cover, the referee counted to 3, and CM Punk retained the World Heavyweight Championship. The crowd exploded as Punk's music hit and he was handed his championship. Roman Reigns lay in the ring, stunned by the loss. This was supposed to be his moment. This was supposed to be his coronation as the dual champion of WWE. But CM Punk had proven that he truly is the best in the world. Punk celebrated with the championship as Roman slowly got to his feet. The two superstars stood in the ring together, and for a moment it looked like they might show mutual respect. But Roman's expression darkened. He looked at Punk with rage in his eyes and attacked him from behind. The crowd booed as Roman beat down Punk, hitting multiple spears and destroying the champion. Security rushed the ring to pull Roman away, but the damage was done. Roman stood over Punk's fallen body and grabbed the World Heavyweight Championship. He held it above his head, making a statement that this rivalry was far from over. As Raw went off the air the next night, Roman Reigns cut a promo declaring that he may have lost the battle, but he's going to win the war. He demanded a rematch, and he promised that next time the result would be different. CM Punk responded by telling Roman that he can have as many rematches as he wants because the result will always be the same. CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion, and nobody is taking that away from him. The stage is now set for an incredible rivalry that could define both of their careers. Make sure you stay subscribed because this story is only just beginning and you won't want to miss what happens next.